Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Occult Think Tank. My name is Greg. In this program, I am going to be talking about the 10 dangers of astral projection that really aren't dangers at all. This is more for the sake of comedy. I hope you enjoy. 10 astral projection dangers explained. You need to know this. If you're considering learning how to astral project, you might want to be aware of some of these dangers. These are things that people should know before they start, as they could make them not want to learn in the first place. That being said, if you follow best practices, you'll probably be absolutely safe. Having an OBE, or out-of-body experience, is not actually dangerous at all. But there are a lot of people asking questions online and worrying about certain perceived dangers, so we'll cover them here. Common dangers of astral travel explained. There are several dangers of astral projection to be aware of, but you need to consider that most of these you will not experience. In fact, many beginners and advanced projectors don't have any problems with these dangers or problems. Number 1. Dying in waking life. A common fear is that you can die in waking life if you die in a dream or an OBE, out-of-body experience. This is simply not true. The only thing that is true is that if you get killed in waking life while you're having an out-of-body experience, you die for real. Having an out-of-body experience doesn't protect you from the dangers of the real physical world. If you get stabbed or shot or otherwise fatally injured in the real world while you're having an out-of-body experience, you die, period. This is kind of common sense. What idiot would do this astral projection somewhere that they're going to be stabbed or shot? It just Number 1 seems to be frankly absurd. The only place I've ever heard of the if you die in a dream, you die for real, that was Nightmare on Elm Street. That, I think, was where that idea came from. It's a movie-based idea. And anybody that gets their ideas from movies is an idiot. Number 2. Getting possessed by a demon or evil entity. Getting possessed is something that can only happen when you let it. Possession can happen, but you have to invite the entity in, or be really weak or vibrating at a low frequency. Make sure when you astral project, you are vigilant and firm with any spirits or entities you come across. If you come across anything threatening in your out-of-body experience travels, make sure you imagine or visually imagine. What is the difference between imagining and visually imagining? Somebody in the comments section, please explain that difference to me. A bright white light coming from your abdomen and shining all around you. Say no to anything trying to enter your body or come back with you. This whole thing goes on the premise that there is demons or evil entities. That is a presumption I would not be making, but number 3, getting lost and separated from your physical body. You can't get physically separated from getting back to your body while astral projecting. It's a myth that there's no real danger here to worry about. In the same way, you can't get trapped or kept in the astral realm against your will. Sometimes it can seem like this is happening, but all you need to do is focus all your energy on returning to your body, and you will. Visualize your silver cord and imagine it pulling you back to your body. What that makes me think of is the book by Stephen King, Insomnia, that had this silver cord that went over someone's head that I don't know if it was alien or whatever entity in that book would cut the cord and the person would die, type of thing. But also, sometimes you can be delayed by an entity that wants to keep you there, but often only for a few minutes or so. Nothing has the power to keep you in the astral realm against your will, so don't worry about that. Okay. Number 4. I'm going to try to read this one and not crack up. Evil demons that want to have sex with you. Yes, this is literally the title, as you can see. There are demons or entities in the spirit or astral realm that literally just want to suck the energy out of you, sexually. No matter how tempting, these should be avoided at all cost. The energy they will steal is valuable. All you need to do is say no. And just like before, imagine a white light shining through you that blocks them out and pushes them back. You have the power here. That makes me think of the abstinence commercials and so forth and stuff from Christians of just say no. And the stuff with drugs back in the 80s, just say no. Really, I mean, this whole thing, to me, it seems so ludicrous. But, number 5, you'll use it to escape. Another danger of astral projection is that you'll use it to escape your waking life and get disconnected from reality. Just like the video gamer loses track of what he or she should be doing in real life. The beginner astral projector might get lost. This can be avoided easily, though. Remember that real life is more important than astral life. Try maintaining a balance between the two realities at all times. If it gets too much, or you realize that you're spending too much time thinking about projecting or trying, just take a break for a few weeks, then come back to it later. Number 6, getting fatigued. A common problem that lucid dreamers have is they focus on techniques that involve interrupting their sleep. Wait a minute, I thought we're talking about astral projection and now it's switching over to lucid dreaming. Which is this? Is this astral projection or lucid dreaming? Anyway, when you do that, you feel tired the next day and this makes you feel bad. And it's just the same with astral projection. A common danger is that people will focus on techniques that involve cutting into their sleep. The best time to astral project is in early hours of the morning. Why? Is the astral realm closed overnight? I don't frickin' get it. What if you work nights? Or what if you're on a different schedule than being up in the daytime? Anyway. And that is a problem because people end up sacrificing their sleep just to try one more time. It makes them tired and fatigued the next day and they blame astral projection. Really? I've never heard anybody say, I'm tired today because I was astral projecting last night. I have never in my life heard that. But, really, it is the time you're trying to project that is the problem. You can only burn the candle at both ends for so long. Remember that your sleep quality is more important than just trying to astral project one more time. This is making astral projection sound like a drug. If you feel tired due to interrupting your sleep, please stop and take a few weeks off. That being said, every now and then you might want to interrupt your sleep to get the benefits of trying at the perfect time or the morning. Why is there a perfect time? I mean, is the astral realm closed at certain hours? I don't freaking get this. Number 7, Uncomfortable or scary experiences. A common but not very widely talked about danger is that you'll get scared. The astral realm is not a place for beginners or novices. Then how does anybody become advanced if it's not a place for beginners or novices? Wouldn't everybody at the start of it be a beginner or novice? I don't see how you would get to be advanced if you weren't at one time a beginner or novice. So it seems like a conflict in message. But anyway, because the things you will see or experience there can be scary at times. Or course, and you guys, I'm showing you this so you see it. It's not me. It's right there. Or course. Most of the time, you will have a strong positive intention. Nothing bad will happen, but it's much like hallucinating. Is it much like hallucinating, or is it hallucinating? If you have a doubt or a bad emotional state before going into the trip, you'll have a pretty bad time. So make sure you are grounded, stable, and emotionally and mentally ready to astral project, and you're not carrying any real life issues into the astral realm. If you are, then you're asking for trouble. What this makes me think of is not astral projection, but when I had my, what I term near-death experiences, when I had overdosed back in 2009, I think it was, 2008, 2009. And my emotions at that time were very hostile, at least the first night. And what I experienced was, well, to use the term, extremely hostile. I don't know if what I had experienced and talked about in those videos was this type of astral travel or not. I don't know. But if that would, and I'm just running with the presumption that maybe that's what I was actually doing, induced by an overdose of sleeping pills, that maybe how you are feeling and so forth, because my emotions at that time definitely affected what I experienced. But to continue this, number 8, you'll get overwhelmed. It's easy to get scared or overwhelmed by sensation in the astral realm. It happens a lot to beginners. They enter the astral plane not sure what to expect, but then they experience things that are so far from what they know that they freak out, panic, and get stressed. It might not be the right time for you to project. I just want to make it clear once again that you should only try to astral project when you're emotionally and mentally stable and strong. If you're depressed, stressed, anxious, or insecure, don't try it yet. Number 9, you'll get frustrated easily. When beginners try and astral project for the first time, it can be difficult. The techniques don't seem to be working, and you wonder what you're doing wrong. Combine this with a strong desire to actually have the experience and see what it's like. And you get very frustrated, impatient, not impatient, you get impatient and annoyed. This is common, but it can be annoying. Just like reading something that is spelled wrong can be annoying. So to prepare for that, just set your expectations right now. Set the expectation that it might take you a few months to learn. In fact, it takes most beginners about 4 to 6 months before they're able to have their first out-of-body experience, or OBE, and really experience astral projection. So prepare for that, and don't beat yourself up if it takes longer. That being said, there are many powerful ways to speed up this process. One of the most effective ways to learn to astral project faster and avoid this frustrating waiting period is to take our Astro Discovery course. Of course, it means taking their course. It fast tracks you and explains in really simple steps how to do it faster. And of course it does. Probably just like the last clown that I was going to be talking to about this. Don't you love it how their course is the one that will have you fast tracked? Every single one of these have it, not that somebody else's course is the one to take, their course is the one to take. It's bad salesmanship all around. But you don't need to do that. In fact, sometimes it's better to wait and have the process just take longer. If you want results fast, check out the course. If you're fine waiting 4 to 6 months or longer, learn the techniques and read our articles on how to astral project. This is really trying to do the pain versus pleasure sales tactic of, if you don't take our course that we're going to charge you X amount for, then it's going to take 4 to 6 months or longer. They're projecting the pain of all that time versus just paying them to teach you their methods, which could be a crock of bullshit. It's all pain pleasure sales tactic jargon. That's really all you need to know, but it can be annoying if you're impatient. This is really annoying. It is also really annoying that even things like this do the pain pleasure sales tactic that you see commonly with all the workout stuff, the diet stuff, all of it. They do, it's all, almost all commercials are driven by a pain pleasure type of pitch. Number 10, you won't know what to do. A really common experience people have, not only while astral projecting, but also while lucid dreaming, is not knowing what to do. Now, people, you can correct me in the comments section if I am wrong, but I was under the impression lucid dreaming, number one, you're asleep. And lucid dreaming means you know you're asleep. And that you can control what happens in the dream because you know you're dreaming. So, number one, if you know you are dreaming, why would you have anything to be worried about? You know you're dreaming. Number two, if you know you're dreaming and you can control it, why would you be uncomfortable or nervous or scared at all? One, you know you're dreaming. Two, you know you can control it. So where would the fear come from? But to continue this, imagine this. You finally have an out-of-body experience, or OBE, realize you are not in your physical body, and then you're unable to decide what to do. Okay, I'm going to pause right there, because as an atheist, I finally have an out-of-body experience and realize I'm not my physical body. I would not be unable to decide what to do. I would be looking at it as, okay, this is different. I would be, first of all, am I dreaming? Is this all just an elaborate dream? I would be looking for ways to, and I'm not sure how I would go about proving to myself that, number one, this isn't just a very vivid or lucid dream. But then I would also be looking at thinking about the implications of what this actually means. But to continue this makes you panic. It wouldn't make me panic. It would make me question and be looking for things to confirm that this isn't a dream or that this is somehow real, which I don't know how I would do that. If anybody in the comment section can tell me, what would you do in a astral projecting sense to prove to yourself that it's not a dream? How would you separate astral projecting from a dream? But to continue this, and you end up feeling like you're stuck there. You're not really stuck, but you think you are, simply because you're not sure what to do. Okay. I don't buy it, but let's just run with their premise. Set a strong intention on what you want to do when you first astral project. How do you know if you haven't done it? I mean, it seems counterintuitive. The intention can be really simple, like flying above my body or flying down the street. The intention is what you will use to ground yourself and anchor yourself to the waking body. Okay. Should you be worried about astral projecting? You should not worry about any of these dangers. Then why have we gone through this? Yes, there are some things to consider, but it's really not that bad. In fact, the only reason this post was written is because many people were searching on Google and asking us over emails what the dangers were. It's almost like people expect there to be dangers, but there aren't really any to worry about. They could have made this article really short and been saying there's no real dangers to worry about, instead of going through all this horse shit. The things mentioned here are just guidelines. Or this was strictly for comedy purposes. This was just to make you laugh. You'll find that when you start having regular out-of-body experiences, or OBEs, you'll know your limits and what feels good or bad. But remember, don't let those evil spirits suck the energy out of you, literally or sexually. I really want you to try it out. Really? After all this and saying about these potential dangers, I really want you to try it out and see what you think. The best way of learning is either read articles on our site or watch our videos and practice the techniques yourself. Oh yeah, notice it is their articles, their courses, their shit. Nobody ever says you really need to read someone else's shit. It's typical sales tactic bullshit. And the thing is, I don't want to shit on the whole subject of astral projection. But what I definitely want to shit all over are people that are wanting to push their method, their ideas, their bullshit, as if they're a fucking expert. Especially when you have in here about the astral realm not being for beginners or novices. How does anybody get to being an advanced projector without at one time having been a beginner or novice? There's no way that you can skip the beginner or novice stage. Everybody, when you first do something, you are a beginner. That is because you are beginning. We really need to understand the essence of what the words we use mean. If you are just beginning something, you are a beginner. If astral projection is not for beginners, then nobody can get past beginner, because everybody would be a beginner at the point where they're beginning. It just makes me want to scream. Like I've said, I'm not wanting to totally shit on the aspect of astral projection, because after reading this, I do have a question in my mind of the near-death experience video that I have done and is on this channel. Could what I have experienced have been astral projection and I didn't realize that I was doing it? That can a person astral project basically via a drug overdose, be it a drug of sleeping pills or whatnot? The issue I have with if that would be the case is anything that is induced by drugs, how much of an influence do those drugs have on what you experience? Or the mental state you had, the state of mind you were in at the time you did that. If that can influence, to use the term, the trip you have, then what is real? Is this all just one elaborate dream? Is there a way to differentiate what would be termed astral projection from dreaming? Now, in my what I termed near-death experiences, there was the point I woke up and I saw the empty bed type of thing when I walked out of the bathroom. So my physical body was physically moving. So I have questions as to the aspect of lucid dreaming and so forth, because if this was just a dream like what I experienced, then I should have seen a body laying in the bed if I was astral projecting. I've never been one to be what is termed a sleepwalker, but my physical body was physically not in the physical bed when I came out of the bathroom type of thing. So that, in a sense, for me at least, day 2 rules out the aspect of astral projection, because somehow my physical body was involved in wherever the fuck I was. And what also goes through my mind is, if my physical body was having that experience, why didn't I have the urge for a cigarette the entire time that I was having that experience? Until I realized that there's the empty bed, oh shit, and so forth. I'm not wanting to totally shit on the aspect of astral projection, but as far as their course or their shit, absolutely, I'll shit all over it all day long. Because what I see very clearly is the pain pleasure type of sales tactic that is so common, and they're trying to act like their method and so forth is the fast track. Crap. Bullshit. If you want to assert that, you need to give evidence and proof as to why your methods are better than somebody else. What makes this website any more valid or their way any more accurate than this other? Feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Later, people.